This lesson is on multiplying polynomials. When you multiply polynomials, remember that you're going to essentially be multiplying the coefficients. So those you will get, those are the numbers that are in the front, so you're going to multiply them. And then essentially you're going to look at the exponents and you're going to add them. When you're multiplying terms that have the same base, you just add the exponents. So let's look at an example here. In our first example, we see that we have a monomial on the outside, so we've got to distribute it to every term on the inside. So essentially what you're going to have here is 3x squared times 5x cubed. That's the first one. Then we see the addition sign, so we'll bring it down. We start back over to 3x squared times, we have 2x. Then we take this sign, the subtraction sign, and go back to the beginning, 3x squared times 4. Now we start to clean up. You multiply your coefficients, so 3 times 5 is 15, but then you keep the base, add the exponents. 2 plus 3 is 5. Then we have 3 times 2 is 6. Keep the base, add your exponents. Now there's an invisible 1 here, so that would be 2 plus 1, which is 3. And then we would have a subtraction sign, and we have 3 times 4 is 12. And then we have no other variables, so we just bring the x squared down. And then that would be your final answer. We can also have a binomial times a binomial. And when that occurs, you want to do something called FOIL. FOIL means that we're going to go for the first term, the outer terms, the inner terms, and then the last terms. So what we're going to do is we're going to look for the first terms. The terms in the first position are 5x and 2x. So 5x times 2x. That takes care of that. Then we're going to do the outer terms, the ones on the outside. So we've got 5x and 1. So that would be plus 5x times 1. Then we're going to do the inner terms. So that would be the two that are inside here. So that would be our negative 3 times 2x. And then the one we want to go for are the ones that are in the last position, which are these two. So negative 3 and 1. So now we have negative 3 times 1. Essentially we just did every combination with this. So first, outer, inner, last. And now we just clean it up. 5 times 2 is 10. X times x is x squared, because remember there's an invisible 1, we add the exponents. Then we have 5x times 1, which is 5x. Then we have negative 3 times 2x, which is negative 6x. Then we have negative 3 times 1, which is negative 3. And then you always want to make sure that you can combine any like terms. So 10x squared is its only term, but 5x minus 6x is negative x, and we bring down that minus 3. That would be our final answer. In our last example, you'll notice that we start to get into larger polynomials. So we have a binomial times a trinomial. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to actually separate this. So the 2x is going to come here, and then I put a big space, and then I put a plus 1 here. So there's the first binomial broken up. What you're going to do is you're going to multiply this 2x plus 1. Essentially, you're taking each of these terms, breaking it up, and multiplying it times this polynomial. So here I broke up 2x, so now behind it, in the parentheses, I've got 10x squared minus 3x plus 4. And then we do it again. So there was that plus 1 that we separated before, so we take this. We have 10x squared minus 3x plus 4. And now we use the distributive property. So we would have 2x times 10x squared would give me this first part. Then we'll do it again to that and to that. So then we have plus 2x times negative 3x. Then we have plus 2x times 4. Then we do this one. 1 is going to be distributed to each thing. And unfortunately, we know 1 times 10x squared is just going to be 10x squared. 1 times negative 3x is negative 3x. And 1 times 4 is 4. So then from here, we just clean this up. 2 times 10 is 20. X times x squared, add your exponents. 1 plus 2 is 3. Then we have 2 times negative 3, which is negative 6. X times x is x squared. Then we have 2x times 4, which would be 8x. And then we just bring everything else down because we're done. We already multiplied that 1 through. Now we look for like terms. We want to put this in descending order. So here my x cubed is the degree of this polynomial. So since the degree is 3, we want to start with that. Take care of that. We're done with that piece. Now we're finding the x squareds, which are here. negative 6x squared plus 10x squared is 4. And again, you must leave the x squared alone. We're just adding the coefficients. We keep the number behind it the same. So now we're done with those two. Now we see 8x and negative 3x, which would combine to give me positive 5x, so those cancel. And then we have plus 4, and that will be our final answer.